Alright guys, this is another video. We have 2012 Rav4. This is just a maintenance procedure we're going to do on this car. We're going to replace the brake flush, the brake fluid. We're going to do a flush on it. We're going to replace the front brake pads and rotors. And we're going to replace the the rear differential and the transfer case fluid. So I'm going to show you right now how the fluid is in the brake reservoir. As you can see, it's kind of like an orange color and really dark at the bottom. You will see, in the process how I do the cleanup on this reservoir and how I do the flush, which is the right way to do it. Also, a lot of people do, replace the brakes and the pads. They just remove and install very quickly, so it's not really the right way. You want to have a good brake again in your car, since you're doing the right way, which is replacing the rotors and the pads. I'm going to show you how it has to be done, right? I'm going to remove first the fluid on the reservoir and clean it very good. For this I've got the vacuum tool that's the Lubricating, which is very handy. Disconnect the air, from the compressor and those are the vacuum. You have to go inside and make sure you drain all the fluid. As you can see here, it's coming down. What I do is after this I add a clean fluid. I go and apply a little bit of a shop air to the reservoir to move it around and remove all the sludge from the bottom, making sure that's going to be nice and clean. I take this and wash it outside, dry it out very good, make sure there is no water on it, and then put it back. This is the first thing you want to do. Clean very good the container, the reservoir, and then proceed with the wheels. All manufacturers have different procedures, but usually what you're looking for to do is follow the rear wheel. Check to see which is the farthest line or the longest line, and then start with that wheel, then the other side, and then come to the front. Like, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure you drain all the fluid. This is usually what I do before I do any brake job. Don't push the pistons back on the calipers, because you're going to push all fluid back into the ABS system, which a lot of times that will create a lot of problems, stack accumulators and big trouble. So this is the way I do it. Like I said, I will. As you can see, I will remove the front wheels. This is when I'm going to remove the rotors and pads and show you how I clean the hardware very skillful. Very deep, so it's nice and clean, and it's going to slide very nice and easy as a brand new brake again, right? Right, sorry for the noise. It's just, these cameras and microphones, they pick up everything, so that was just the air going through the mid-back. As you can see, I'm already, drained all the fluid very well. I cleaned the strainer inside and the cap very well. You can see, what I do also after is I put the cap and the strainer inside, and I put, I spray it with cargo cleaner around, make sure, there is nothing dirty. I clean with a rag inside, make sure, whatever is left in there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to be, with like no sound pretty much, because I'm going to blow air through the reservoir just to make sure, I mix it around. I'm going to put, again, more clean fluid. I still got a little bit of a fluid in there. More clean fluid and drain it again to make sure everything is out, and then I will proceed with the wheels. Alright, here we go. I'm going to use the filter so I can press on it, and you will see. Alright, now I'm done with the reservoir cleanup. I haven't done the flush on the car. I just cleaned the reservoir, but as you can see, there is no more dark areas under, on the bottom of the reservoir, and the fluid is completely clean. I don't know if you can see, but this reservoir is completely full. Yeah, right there. You see? See, it's brand new fluid. Everything is 100% clean. Now I'm going to proceed with the rest. Alright, as many as you requested, I'm going to record the whole process of repairing the front brakes, at least on one side. It's going to be the same thing on the other side. I don't have a microphone. I have the new iPhone 7, so I forgot the lightning adapter for the microphone, so I hope the audio is okay, but I will be coming probably closer to the camera to explain a little bit, but it's going to be a little bit self-explanatory with the video. So here we go. Yeah, we need a 14 wrench first. Gonna remove this. I would like to break the torque first with the wrench and then use the little ratcheting battery power tool, because like that it will last longer. Make sure you always replace this every time you do the brake job. Like that you will have very good brakes again. This is where the brake pad is slide, so very important. Take a look at that first. It was a little stuck with the rust. I mean, it's 50,000 miles on this car, so definitely. I like to remove all this before I take the actual hardware from the caliper apart. Now we need 17 for the front. I'm going to clean this up. As you can see, this is okay, kind of, but it was a little hard at the beginning. Like this, when you see it's not moving. It's very normal. It's heat. There's no dust inside, but it's heat, so that grease needs to be replenished. I'm gonna clean the pins and replenish that grease. It's very specific for the calipers, okay? As you see, this one is barely moving. See? This is the nice color. This is how it's no good now. Okay, let's now remove the hardware and start cleaning these parts to reinstall. I will show you how to run your pads with all those sliders for the pads and the new rotors and everything. I always like to check the size and length of the rotors, because sometimes it's a little bigger, a little smaller, so I would like to double check everything. Again, you know, 17 wrench. Sometimes it's a little tight. And now they're loose. One thing very important to do is don't let the caliper hanging on the hose, because that by time will damage them. So I always use just a bungee cord. Hold that in here, so it's not like it's nice and not hanging on the hose. This is easy. Alright, so now we're gonna clean that hub. Gotta get some tool for that. Just hold yourself a little bit. here. For this one, I like to use this. Very easy to, just do a small cleanup in here, which is very important. Make sure you use goggles for this. And have a little wire brush wire on your eyes. Safety first. It wasn't so bad. This is okay. It's not really too rusted as you can see, but some vehicles they come and it's just like all rust everywhere. Okay, that's the wheel that I use for the hubs, and this one, the other one for the hardware. I always like to clean this up very well. First, remove the rust in here. See the rust and all the dirt in there that pushes the sliders upward and make the the pads go tighter. So when you brake, they stay in. That's why you get all the squillings and the pads they don't last. So this is very important too. You see all that rust and powder going out. Oops, almost. This is not really important in here. This is just a bracket outside. It doesn't hold anything in there. Alright, that should be it. Should do it. This is the grease that I use for the caliper, for all the pins and everything. Like I said again, you can see, this grease that they put original, it's kind of like that yellowish clear color. So as you can see, this is already being used a lot. So you're gonna clean this and then put a new grease on. Very simple. Simple, nice and clean. Again, it's a 50,000 mile maintenance, so it's not bad. Put a little extra on the front because this is where I'm going to push in. It's going to come back with it. Because most of this grease is just gonna, come back to the front, to the back when you push the pin. Alright. Make sure you push it in and the rubber is back in there. You clean that too. Good, and do the same thing on the other pin. Make sure you don't mix these ones up. As you can see, this one has a rubber on it, so that's why it's very important to use this specific grease. Yes, otherwise this is going to become brittle and it's going to just seize the caliper. The one with the O-ring usually goes on the top on Toyotas. Okay? I mean, sorry, on the bottom. My mistake. Alright, now we're gonna get the water. Okay. Caliper. Go again in here. I usually start the threads with my hand, with finger, so it makes you are sure that they're going nice and easy. Okay. Nice. Everything is smooth. Okay, we're good to go in there. Now let's put all those sliders for the pads. They won't have a side, like you can see. Make sure this is on the back always, because I mean it's the only way to truly you can put the pad on it, but they can fit anywhere. So this one will go on the bottom there. Another one, because that one doesn't work in there. Perfect. Right. Like I said again, this one is, you just needed to clean it very good, no grease, no nothing in there, because if you put any grease in here with the dust and the same dust the pads are going to produce, are just going to make the pads get stuck in there. So no grease, no nothing in there. One thing these pads, at least the ones that I got, had is this little clip in here. This is the one is going to warn you when the pad is wearing out and it's very low. So make sure you put this in the right spot. You can see just like that. So it's going to be just a small warning in there, and also helps the pad to be steady. It usually goes on the bottom. This little thing is going to make any difference if you put them on the top or on the bottom. It's not going to hit anywhere, but I usually put them on the bottom. So it helps to create like a cushion onto the pad when you brake, and no sounds also. Should be one for each pad. Start by binding together. They package it, they put it together, so it's just stuck in there. Let's see if I can get it off. Finally got it. Oh, that's the other pot. Okay, this is gonna go like this, so it's gonna come right here. Okay. Sure it's not on the way. Screwdriver. So one in. Okay. Yep. Now, as you guys have noticed, I haven't pushed the piston in. Like when there's a little bit, you know, this is just normal dust from brakes. This is not important, but I'm going to release the open the bleeder and then push the piston in, make sure the fluid goes out, it doesn't go back into the system. Get that tool. At this time, I'm not going to use any air because it's going to be the same pressure is going to make the fluid just go out. So here's a number 8. Shouldn't loosen them up, you know, before I remove it from the caliper, but it's usually not that strong. So as you can see, it's already opening there. I just come here, set this up. Hopefully it shows in the video how the fluid is going down. Doesn't look that dirty, but again, you saw the color. And I'm nothing about to go to the ABS. This is the way you have to do it always. Just close that, and then what, we're going to bleed it again. I'm just going to just use a regular wire brush. Just to remove some of that dust. Nice and easy. Now you can put the caliper, you know, set the caliper back in place. Be sure when you put the caliper that the hose is on the right direction, because let's say by you playing with it, you can just spin it and make it, you know, go like this, and it's going to be, you know, very hard. In this case, the hose is very short, so it doesn't allow you to do it, but some vehicles might let you. All right, get your last bolt on this side. And the pin. You can use a torque wrench if you want to torque this up. I mean, with experience, I get to learn, you know. I've been working for this for over, you know, almost 20 years. I mean, 30 years though. Should be good. As you can see, the caliper is nice and tight, and it moves freely in and out. A little bit here, you can see that. And we will see that when we push the brakes, everything looks very nice and good in here. So I'm going to proceed with the other side. I'm not going to record that one, we already did in this side, but I will record the flush, the procedure of the flush, and also the two gear oils that I'm going to install, which is the rear differential and the front transfer case. Right now I'm going to start the bleeding procedure. So this is going to give you a better perspective of what I'm doing. Of course I'm going to be far away from the camera, but you will see how I do it. I usually put, you know, like again the tool right here, this one, right, into each of the bleeders, so I see completely crystal clear fluid. I usually do 2 tires at a time, and I lower the vehicle and I'm going to refill the container. Sorry for the shop noise. You will also see me doing that. Okay, one thing I wanted to tell you is that's probably the most important wheel because it's the farthest distance to the pump. So you want to stay a little longer into there, make sure the fluid is completely 100% clean. And then, of course, you're going to do it truly, on the 4 tires. But that one is probably the most important, at least for the real brake. All right? Also, one other thing that is important to do, at least with this tool, is after you remove the hose from the bleeder, don't just tie them up right away, just leave it a little bit so you can see the fluid coming, because you can create so much vacuum that when you release it, it's kind of like that, like backs up. So by gravity, the fluid will come out again, make sure there is no bubbles, and then you can close the bleeder. Alright, that was the brake flush. That's complete. I'm just gonna lower the car. I'm gonna put the wheels, then I'm gonna lower that again and recheck the level on the reservoir. But that's pretty much on the brake part, pretty much done. And I'm gonna do a really quick, on the differential fluid. I think it's just very simple. Drain and put it back, I mean, I don't even know if I wanted to record that, but I will tell you guys I did it, alright? Okay, I hope you guys liked that video. I think the oil replenishment is something like that. I mean, it's super easy. It's not like a transmission flush or something, so at least I'm gonna close the video right here. Hope you guys like the video. Please thumbs up if you like it, please, and share with your friends. I'm gonna keep, again, uploading as much as these repairs and diagnostic. This mechanic, so I do everything. Okay? Have a good day.